Okay, so now I'm going to start sewing. I'm going to start with my little moon and I'm going to do a straight stitch. So if you check out my sewing machine, my settings are 0, 0, 3.5, 2.0. This normally comes up as 2.2. I've just made it a tiny bit smaller. And so for the moon, I'm going to start where the moon starts to appear, and I'm going to go all the way around to the other side. I'm not going to backstitch at the beginning and the end, and I'm going to go in about 1/8 of an inch. And I'm going to have needles ready because I'm going to show you what to do with my threads after I sew. So I'm going to hold my threads with my right hand. I'm going to get my presser foot at about the right spot, and I'm actually going to drop my needle to see if I'm in a good spot, and I am. So I'm actually going to backstitch one stitch. I'm not quite at the edge. Okay, that's more than one stitch. Okay, we'll do that again. Okay, so now I'm ready to start stitching my little project. I'm going to start with the moon and just do a straight line. Well, a straight stitch. I'm actually going to do a really big curved line here. So I'm going to make sure that my machine is at the right settings. So for this machine, I have it at 0, 3.5, 2.0. I made the 2.0 a little bit smaller than what it normally is. I'm going to use about 1/4 inch seam allowance, and I'm going to start right where the moon starts. And it's a little hard to tell, so I'm going to drop my needle to see if I'm in the right spot, and I am. I'm actually right on the edge of the black, but I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to hold my threads with my right hand just for a couple stitches, and I'm going to sew really slowly. And I'm going to actually pivot because it didn't quite turn as much as I liked because it was just 2 stitches. So I'm going to just lift my presser foot and turn it a little bit. I'm going to do another stitch, lift my presser foot. Woo, that got away from me. Lift my presser foot. I'm going to slow the speed down on this thing. I'm going to lift it up. So if I go really fast and I don't pivot very much, I'm probably going to not get a really nice line. And I'm going to just try to do my best here to get a nice curved line. And I have reached the end, so I'm going to bring my needle up and I'm going to leave my threads long. So now I'm going to take a needle and I'm going to take my top thread from one side of my moon, thread it through my needle. Work. And what I'm going to do is put my needle through right near my stitch to the back side. So now I have both of my threads on the back, and so I'm just going to tie a little knot here twice, and then I'm going to trim my threads. And then I'm going to do the same thing at the end of the moon. And I have done it where I do this step after I've done all of my stitching. And I've done it this way, where I do it after each round of stitching. And I have to be honest, this is a lot easier because this way my threads don't get all tangled up together. And I end up sometimes with a really big tangled mess, and it's really hard to secure the seam that way. Okay, so now I am ready to go to the next step.